From the alley-oops at Keyshaw to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. The 49ers have defeated the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Minnesota. Woo!
34-26, Alex. And it was a interesting game that the 49ers got to a slow start. Jimmy Garoppolo got off to a slow start. And then they slowly found their way, got some very pivotal turnovers, and ended up winning. But did not come out unscathed as there's some injuries as well.
Absolutely. So, look, this is one of those catch-22 sort of situations right now for the 49ers. Number one, you love the win. You love the fact that you just got a big fat victory at home yet again. You're 6-5. You're now comfortably sitting in the 6th seed. So you're feeling really, really good where you're at and where this team is and what you've overcome so far. But there's that little bit of wariness, right, with the amount of injuries that you just sustained. Greenlaw going out early, Fred Warner going down with what looks like, I think they said a hamstring.
It is a hamstring. He actually has the thing on it already, right?
Okay. All right, perfect.
The thing they put around it, what's it called? That keeps it compressed.
100%.
Yeah.
Ryan David, the code stands are sad, big sad.
Yeah.
100%. Look, and then you also had Deebo Samuel going down with what looks like, or what sounds like, and what they're saying is a groin situation. So good news is for the 49ers, none of those injuries are necessarily like season-ending injuries, but they are nagging type of injuries. And the fact that Dre Greenlaw stepped back into the lineup for the first time, he was having a groin issue beforehand, and then has another groin issue and misses some more game time, a little bit concerning. Are they going to be a little bit more cautious with him and things of that nature? Or with this injury now to potentially Fred Warner being longer term, do we see Dre being thrust into the situation of, hey, we just going to need you, you're going to need to step up?
Yeah, I honestly don't know what any of these injuries are, right? I mean, we know that, what thing is hurt, but to what extent? We have no idea. We have no idea what if they're strains, if they're pulls. The fact that Fred Warner was still on the sideline with his helmet on, if he's still out there, it means it's probably not a pull, but it's still not a good situation. Anytime Fred is not on the field, that's not good because he plays through things. He doesn't miss football games. So Fred being out, Dre being out, I mean, it was made me a little nervous. I think the only thing that was, kind of beneficial to the 49ers was Dalvin Cook had already went down, because if Dalvin Cook wouldn't have went down, they would have been able to gas the 49ers on that last drive, because I have limited faith in Demetrius Flanagan-Foles. And poor Marcel Harris, got the end of the third quarter, made a big hit on the fullback and got hurt.
Yeah, Ham destroyed him.
Yeah, and so the 49ers were definitely down linebackers, and it was kind of a wicked situation. The good news for them is Talanoa Hufanga stepped up, played in the box.
True.
Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt felt like erasers again.
Yep.
It's almost, they have quiet games, and they have quiet games because they're not being challenged. So I thought that was at least a good sign for the 49ers. But the main thing is come out with the victory and approach tomorrow. The good news is also Seattle, not the best run game. So if you're going to be weak in a linebacker position, that is the one. However, Seattle's the one that's proven before they'll put the 49ers in that base 4-3 set all day if you don't have a third linebacker that can help stop the run.
That's the thing, right? They will do it. And so for the 49ers, knowing what you're going to be dealing with this week is going to be huge. Brad, 100%. Or David, 100%. Sure would be nice to have Jonas Griffith still right now at this point in time. Yes. 1,000% yes. It would be great to have Jonas Griffith still, but you don't. And so now you have to just turn your attention to where you're at and what you are now and what you do have at the moment and, what you need to start getting prepared for, getting ready for. Because you have a team next week in the Seattle Seahawks, regardless of what happens this week, that has been up and down, inconsistent. They are just starting to get their health back, and underneath them, they got their wide receiving core for the first time all year, healthy the last few weeks. You have Russell Wilson back in the fold. They don't have the running game healthy, so the good news is there. You don't have to necessarily worry about that, but it's still Seattle. It's still Pete Carroll. It's still a rivalry game, and anything can happen in conference. We've talked about this a lot. Look what happened to the Eagles today against the Giants. The Eagles came out, the Giants took away the strengths, they made them play to their weaknesses, and the Eagles couldn't beat them. And the Gigantes come out with a huge win. They have the big people, and the big people took it to them.
So are you ready to back off your statements about Danny Dimes? Wins big football games, Alex. As long as they're not in prime time. Or mean anything really in particular.
Oh man, listen, Danny Dimes is Danny Dimes, and then other times he's Danny Derps. But you know what? It's fine.
Yeah,
the Giants got to win, which honestly it helps the Niners.
100%.
It helps the Niners.
I'm down with that. Anytime it helps the Niners,
good.
I don't care. I'm good with it. Yeah, anything that helps them is wonderful. This is kind of what we talked about: is the 49ers winning football games and having the opportunity now to be one game out of fifth, the number one wild card spot. They're one game out of having that position. And that's because, the Rams are probably going to lose to the Packers. I don't know if it's official yet.
I think it looks like it. Megan says Rams lose. Brad said Rams just lost half a game out of the fifth seed.
Yeah, so right there, and you play the Rams again. So all you have to do is make sure that these injuries hopefully don't deter the progress that you've made. Because right now, what have the 49ers done? They've won 4 out of their last 5 games? Is that what we're at now?
Yes, it is.
That is a wonderful stretch. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are very upset about this and very sad. And who's not happy about this is the other teams in the NFC, because the 49ers are playing a style of bully ball. That last drive of the football game, even though Robbie Gould does not convert on the field goal that would have put them up 11 and clinched the football game, the way that they played in that drive, beating heavy boxes, 8 and 9 guys, and still being able to convert first downs was fantastic. That is Kyle Shanahan 101. That is this offensive line imposing will. And even though Tom Compton is not the answer that everyone wanted at right tackle, he sure didn't do too bad today.
No, he did not. Tom Compton has been proven that he's the salt of the earth right now in this O-line, stepping in a big way with Mike McGlinchey going down in a big way. Tommy Christensen, it's official. They lost. Ben here, Meridian, says, I told you 49ers defeat Vikings 37-24. I was close again. He made a close call last week.
Well done, Ben.
Luke, that's back to back. Good job, man. And then Luke Luna with the $2 super chat there. I absolutely love it, my guy. Huff to linebacker, him in the box. Oh, and cheers as well.
Yeah,
Huff has been moving inside and doing a lot of stuff there on the interior.
Where we need him, because in the first half you've seen a little bit of the rookie nature, right?
Correct.
Where he struggled and he flowed over the too far. Thielen sat down and got into the end zone for the nice touchdown. Those are areas where Huff is still improving. But around the box, playing the screens, coming on the blitz, those are all areas where he's gonna be very successful. They might need him, depending on what is the deal with Fred Warner, what is the deal with Dre Greenlaw, how much of this was just being cautionary, and how much of it is, bad. We don't know yet. I'm sure it's gonna take a little bit before we find out everything.
The report too from the sideline during the games, I remember they were talking about, he said he was fine, and then he said it feels tight. So I think there's probably some tightness, obviously some issues going on there, and all of our members are updating their memberships. Their memberships are renewing.
Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Keep in mind too, members, I don't know if I've told you this. This is actually a new feature that I learned. If you are a channel member, you have a free super chat. You have a free super chat that you can use. So if you are a member on this channel, you haven't used a super chat. You've always wanted a super chat. You just don't want to throw out the extra money. If you pay for a channel membership on the channel, you have a free, essentially, super chat that you can send out. It doesn't cost you anything extra. YouTube just gives it to you. So make sure you utilize that. Utilize that to your advantage. Get your points heard.
Yeah, and I want to get into this. Lou brought up guys' thoughts on Jimmy's performance. I thought Jimmy was shaky today. I mean, real shaky.
Wasn't his best.
No, he was leaving footballs high. I don't know how everyone else felt, but it seemed like in the first half, when they looked at his face and zoomed in, that he seemed stressed. Like his face felt, stressed. That he didn't feel comfortable, and that hasn't been the Jimmy Garoppolo we had seen over the last few weeks.
No.
It seemed like he was feeling the pressure in this football game, and that made me a little leery of what we were seeing. And the fact that he was leaving the ball high over the middle is never a good situation.
A few times, not once, a handful of times.
I thought on occasion he was able to make plays. But I did not think Jimmy Garoppolo was, the last 3 weeks, he had been a real reason why they had won football games. I thought in this game, he did just barely enough. We need better performances from Jimmy Garoppolo if we're going to win, a lot of these big games that are coming up. We need a better performance against Seattle. We need more consistent throws over the middle. He looked frustrated with himself. I don't know if it's a technique thing. I'd have to watch the film more, but to me, it just appeared like he was a little out of sorts and being errant with the football, especially over the middle.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, I don't think that you could even argue it. I don't think anyone who wants to, if you want to come out and say that Jimmy did enough today, I agree with you. I think Jimmy did enough today. After the early pick, he did settle down a little bit. He made the throws that he needed to make when he needed to make them, but he didn't make consistently good throws and put us in better situations. He put us and himself sometimes in situations where it was 3rd and long or 2nd and longer when it didn't need to. So wasn't his best performance by any stretch, by any means of imagination. And David Vilma had the $5 super chat a little bit earlier that said Niners, and agreed.
Like that.
Everyone's feeling that way. David, everybody is feeling that way. Cutback crew is definitely feeling that way. But Jimmy just seemed a little not in rhythm, not in sync, maybe not. I don't even know if it wasn't that he's not all there, but I don't think he liked what he was seeing. And Harrison Smith got him early. He thought Harrison Smith was bailing out in the cover 2 look, and he came down and sat, and Jimmy never looked back that direction, never located him again, and threw it right to where he was. And I think there's a couple throws early in that kind of shook him a little bit in terms of what he was seeing and not trusting his eyes. So that wasn't great. It really wasn't.
I think he didn't get into a rhythm, and people are bringing up the fact that, Ian Rappaport came out and said the 49ers are for sure going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo in 2022 in that or in the offseason, and Trey Lance is going to be the starting quarterback. If that shook Jimmy Garoppolo, I knew that was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen. I hope that didn't shake Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, especially here's the thing. I don't think it did, because Kyle came out earlier this week and said that Jimmy is very, very well could be the guy in 2022. They're saying Kyle's telling the public he hasn't made a decision, essentially.
Well, I mean, I don't care what any of the national media says anyways.
Correct.
They've been drastically wrong. Pretty much
on everything.
On everything. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, doesn't matter. They've all been wrong, but.
True. Monica here. I'm walking Benji. Just wanted to say, what a win. Love you, Ant, Alex, and Cutback crew. One of the only teams to beat them by over a field goal. That's true.
That is very true. And it could have easily been a lot more. The 49ers left some points out there on the field.
Absolutely.
Especially early on. I saw someone asking about, I think it was Brad Jones, was asking about Kyle Shanahan's play calling early in this game. I think Kyle came in with the thought process, and I want to, when we get into the All-22 film, I'm sure it'll be even more apparent, that he needed to kind of soften these guys up. It was a similar game plan to what he did against Minnesota in the playoffs in 2019. Was Jimmy Garoppolo had to execute passes early on in the game. You remember Kendrick Bourne caught the touchdown, make them 7-0. And then once they had him kind of softened up, they just dominated with the run. And I think he was going with a similar, idea, but Zimmer came out and approached it differently, didn't put those 8 guys in the box, and didn't really force that hand. And then with Jimmy being inaccurate, it kind of threw the game plan off a little bit more. So I think some of it was kind of a combination of both, where maybe Kyle outthought himself a little bit. And second of all, that I think that Jimmy Garoppolo didn't execute, so it didn't help the game plan as well. But once Kyle figured out what was going on, you've seen it, back-to-back touchdown drives from the second quarter to the third quarter. And that's what you need to do. You need to adjust to what the other team's doing. And that's what's impressive about this season compared to some of the other seasons, is those adjustments where you feel like Kyle can win the game in the second half by great play calling.
Well, and this is the thing, right? I talked about this in Cutback Crew. You guys are aware of this. Everyone knows. We talked about this on Saturday with the game plan, All-22 preview and breakdown.
It was a good one.
The 49ers, right, or Minnesota has been a team that comes out and punches you in the mouth. And they did it again. They came out swinging. They had the 3-and-out to start the game, but you get the big pick, the big turnover. They go down, score right away, and assert themselves and assert the run game, assert the pass game, dashing over the middle of the field. And then off of that, the Niners go down and answer. And the Niners just did what they needed to do. Yeah, it wasn't pretty necessarily in the first half, but when they needed it most, to end the half, right? You need that long drive where you're the last person touching the ball, knowing you're going into half. They get it. They get the 8-minute drive, essentially. They go 70, 80 yards down the field. You punch it in for a score, and then you come out with the opening drive, and you don't pull punches. You don't, take the long gated drive. You go down the field relatively quickly and punch another one in, and all of a sudden you're up a score. And then immediately turn around and get a turnover. That was the complete shift and momentum shift of the game. It changed everything for the Minnesota Vikings in terms of how they viewed the game. And it gave the Niners the confidence they needed to continue to go out and play, not only play with the lead, Ant, but play with confidence. Look at this. Halftime has come and gone. We've adjusted and done things. We adjusted going into half, came out with a huge drive. We adjusted coming out of half, scoring drive, turnover, scoring drive. We're in the driver's seat. We're controlling this day now. We control our own fate.
Yeah, and Brad Jones is saying Kyle said that the pick Jimmy threw was inexcusable.
100%. Yeah, he was pissed on the sidelines. You could see him.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is Kyle Shanahan went at Jimmy Garoppolo. He got in his face. He let him know that is unacceptable. I kind of like that. I kind of like the fire that Kyle was showing in this game, the way he was after it. The good news for the 49ers, they beat a team that should be considered a playoff contender, and they didn't play their best football. Now, do I think Minnesota played their best football today? No, but some of that could be a forced thing. But I think the 49ers really overcame some opportunities where they made mistakes and are still able to win the football game, and that's a good sign. That shows that when they do get it together, they can be one of the top teams in the in the conference if they really keep putting it together.
James Hall, Cousins played bad too, so both teams left plays out there. 100%.
Agreed.
100%. Both teams missed. I mean, Cousins on the 2-point conversion throw where he has Justin Jefferson and throws it just at his feet. That was bad. That was inexcusable. Talk about inexcusable throws.
Yeah.
That was also an inexcusable throw. There was no reason for that ball to be that low in space. But yeah, look, Jimmy definitely had some errors today and he had some issues. I like this from Tommy Christensen. Jimmy knows when Trey is ready, he's going to overtake him and Jim's going to be traded.
Yeah.
That is something we can all, I think, agree with for the most part. And Brad just updated us. And Kyle said the pick Jimmy threw was inexcusable and that Deebo's groin strain is hopefully minor, is what they're thinking.
Okay.
A minor groin strain.
I'm hoping it's one of those times where you get a stretch and you just get worried about it. And so you go down and you're like, I've done that many a time. Someone grabs my leg and it gets pulled, especially when I played football. So, yeah, Lou, hey, I want to watch that play. So I saw you said it was the third quarter.
You said third quarter, 5:09,
3rd and 9, refuse to throw it Ayuk. Okay, Alex is going to write that down. That way we can watch it on all 22. Thanks for that. That'll be a nice tip. That'll be something for us to watch. Appreciate that. Anytime you guys see something like that, let us know. We'll definitely pay attention to those. So if Lou says that he missed Brandon Ayuk, I'm really interested in it.
I'm looking forward to it. I always like, especially when we don't have to do the work ourselves. We have to rewatch the film 4 times and define the play. Like, it's always good when you guys.
I don't even think there's a question that Jimmy Garoppolo misses open receivers from time to time.
He does. He definitely does. It's not something that typically happens, but it definitely does happen.
I think sometimes
on occasion.
He forces to guys instead of finding open receivers at times.
100%.
Like almost like he just forces to his first read. So I don't think that's uncommon. I would not be surprised if Brandon Ayuk isn't standing there all by himself screaming at Jimmy Garoppolo that he's wide open.
Agreed.
Can we talk though about the fact that Brandon Ayuk had himself another good game? He looks like what everyone thought he was going to be, right? This is good, and I want to give props to Juwan Jennings. Jennings he got open a couple times. He made some plays. I wish he would have made the touchdown in the end zone, get the 2 feet down. But ultimately, he really tried. He almost got the knee down. I thought that was a good attempt, and it was not like he was getting guarded by a scrub. He's getting guarded by a pretty good player.
Here's
by Breland. So
agreed. And here's James just said Jimmy did miss a few wide open receivers. I agree with you, but what I want to watch on these the all 22 film, and context is going to matter. How many of these times when he's missing does he have a guy in his face? Because Brunskill got walked back a lot today.
Oh, even on the interception, Brunskill got walked back into him.
Brunskill got walked back.
He can't make that throw. You got to eat it.
You just got to eat it or throw the ball away or try and get out of the pocket.
Yeah, do something. Yeah,
something. So I think Jimmy struggled today a little bit with that kind of stuff. But how often was it because he had someone in his face and he wasn't able to get out of the pocket or feel like he had somewhere to escape to, and so he's just trying to put the ball in space for a guy to make a play? I think that context is going to matter. I think it's to give us a better idea too of what the Vikings did really well, because I thought the pass rush for the Vikings stepped up in a big way today. They put pressure on Jimmy. They didn't really let him get comfortable. And the best news for the Vikings was that they got themselves into the 3rd and longer situations. There wasn't a lot of 3rd and mediums today. Luckily for the 49ers, they were converting on a lot of those 3rd and longers, which is something they've struggled with all season. Today, not so much, but shout out to the Vikings. Tip my hat to them because they put the Niners in those 3rd and longer situations, first down runs being where we're trying to be a little creative or get a certain type of look on the outside and guys shooting gaps and finding a way to make big plays. They did what they needed to do on certain drives to really make the Niners have to earn it.
Yeah, except the 49ers rushed for over 200 yards in this football game. The first time
wasn't consistent, obviously.
But it's Deebo, right? I mean,
it is.
Right now, I want to petition the NFL and anyone that's listening, if you're ever from the NFL or you guys know anyone from the NFL, it's time to put Deebo Samuel listed as a running back and a wide receiver for the Pro Bowl, and he should make both. 1,000-yard receiver and one of the best running backs in the league. The way that he's able to attack on these outside zone plays and then power in for huge runs. Deebo Samuel is a dynamic football player. I think this is everything they thought Jalen Hurd was going to be, and Deebo Samuel's that guy. 100% this guy deserves all the honors and all the praise. He should be in the MVP talk. He should be in the Offensive Player of the Year talk. Deebo Samuel's a MVP for the 49ers offense this season. There's no doubt. He's unlocking this offense now for Brandon Ayuk. They are doubling him. They're bracketing him, and that's why he's not making that many catches. But Kyle Shanahan's finding dynamic ways to get him the football from the backfield. I think it's been a great game plan. Hopefully he's not hurt too much and they can use him against Seattle, because I believe if the 49ers aren't hurt, they can roll and they can beat Seattle and they can make things really interesting. A 7-5 49ers putting pressure on the Rams and possibly catching them, and then also putting pressure on all these other teams that are above, really the Arizona Cardinals, making sure the Arizona Cardinals know that at least somebody is in their rearview mirror.
Not only someone in your rearview mirror, someone is playing good football at the right time. So if you're the Arizona Cardinals, Yeah, you've escaped with some wins, and yes, you're getting healthy, but you better keep playing at that level, because if you don't, that comfortable NFC West lead that you currently have may not be so comfortable in a few weeks.
Yeah, and Ralph Pasquale is completely 100% accurate. Robbie Gould needs to make those field goals. Robbie Gould let that one drift on him and hit the goalpost. How does he not start the next one a little bit farther inside? So he knows he's getting that, that cut to the football. He still starts in the same spot, and it doesn't make it this time. It goes wide right. That was a little surprising for me. I thought the 42 yards was well within his wheelhouse. Kyle Shanahan had to feel very comfortable about that drive, comfortable about going up 11. Luckily, the defense shows up and stouts up and makes the play. It's funny that Josh Norman is the one that's doing the covering of Justin Jefferson when the play happens. Now, Justin Jefferson jumps for the football, but Talanoa Hufanga is screaming up on him. If Justin Jefferson goes to catch that ball and he actually gets his hands on it, they might be doing the gritty, but he's going to be split in two. Sure. The hands are one place, but the legs are somewhere else. He was going to look like Mr. Potato Head real quick. That was going to be bad. Hufanga's a beast.
He is, man.
When it comes to that kind of stuff. So I thought that at least seeing them, finish it off. And then what did you think of Omenihu as well? I thought Omenihu had moments where he flashed in this game, especially that third down play where he makes a play on Dalvin Cook.
What a trade.
Yeah.
What a trade. I mean, we were all sitting. I remember when they made the trade and I saw the numbers, right, for Omenihu in Houston with the Texans. It was like, okay, the numbers are really nice. Let's see if they can, do something with this. This is eerily similar to 2020 when they made the move for Willis, right? It's eerily similar to that. And he's been getting into games and getting into situations where I've seen him make some nice things and get through and get at the quarterback, but the quarterback's just getting rid of the ball quickly. So it was nice to see him get a sack, get a big tackle for loss, get in on a fumble recovery. Like he's doing things and having an impact on the field now that's tangible, right? We can visibly see it and see what he's doing. I really do. I think it was absolutely great pick, a great trade situation, adding more depth and bolstering your DN group.
You see what Brad Jones said? Mike Zimmer said these guys hold every play. The officials don't want to call it every play, so the Flyers will keep doing it. 100%. If they're not going to call it, keep doing it. Is this any different from the Legion of Boom that used to hold every single play for the Seattle Seahawks?
Is he serious?
Well, probably he's upset. He lost another close game.
I get it, but
yeah, he's supposed to have the better quarterback, and they lost still.
Well, here's my thing, right? Like,
yes, Brad Jones. Elijah Mitchell is a stud.
He is a stud. I don't even want to. Let's not go there.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell's an absolute stud. Can we get past the thing where people were saying he doesn't have the vision? The vision's there, folks. It looks fantastic. 100 looks fantastic.
I could rush for 133 yards if you give me 30 carries a game.
You know how many tough yards he got falling forward?
So many.
Great runs, physical runs, great vision, doing what he needed to be, cutting against the grain.
James, too. Is Mitchell making a case for Rookie of the Year? 1,000%.
I saw someone say Mac Jones, and they're right. Mac Jones is probably the leader in the clubhouse.
He's definitely the leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
But he can't slip up. He cannot slip up.
Well, I think Elijah Mitchell, too, the thing that's going to hurt him, though, is some of the injuries. Because if he wouldn't have had the injuries, he probably would be really close to 1,000 yards right now.
Accurate.
He's had himself one heck of a season. And once again, he's flowing the right direction. I believe he came in the game a little over 500, so he should be over really close to 700 yards right now.
I think he is.
He's going to get over 1,000 yards this season.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily, as a rookie.
And then what about Trey Sermon? Do you think he tore something in his ankle?
No, I think he broke it.
You think he broke it?
I think he broke it. Yeah. I think he's done for the year. I think he broke something in his ankle. Just the way it looked, the way it folded over, and the fact that he had to get carted off. I've had tears. I've torn the lower portion ligaments.
Yeah.
You can walk.
You can walk on a break.
It's not fun. You can't walk on a break. You can, unless you felt something crazy in there.
I mean, some of these guys are crazy. They walk away from torn Achilles. They walk.
It's also true.
Yeah.
It's also true, Ant. I think he broke. Just the way it turned, it felt like to me like he broke something.
Yeah,
it really did. Well, let's see here. So far, Ant. It looks like they haven't technically updated the stats from today, but going into this game, he had 560. What, 133 this game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's basically at 700.
Yeah, it's like 698.
693.
3.
Yeah, 693.
693. Okay.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good number.
It is, especially when you're a run-first football team. You know, you've played 11 games. They're going to have 6 games left.
He's got eight games and almost 700 yards.
Yeah, he's having himself one heck of a year. I'm excited about his potential. I did not want to see Trey Sermon get hurt, by the way.
No.
I don't like that injury. That stinks. That once again puts this running back room in a little bit of a state of flux. Hopefully, JaMychal Hasty can come back. And maybe JaMychal Hasty is ready to be back, and maybe that's why Trey Sermon needed to get carted off. I don't know.
Maybe. Brad here, was there a reason why Jordan Willis didn't play today? I think it's a couple of things. I think it's D Ford being active and being available for the 49ers.
Did he play?
He didn't play. I didn't see him. I did not see him out there. Not once.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I think it's the elevation of Charles Omenihu, personally.
Right. Well, Omenihu's flashed a little bit more than Jordan Willis, which is sad because Jordan Willis was looking good in training camp.
He was.
But you would think the movement of Arden Key to the inside would have created some opportunities for Jordan Willis on the outside. But maybe they wanted a bigger body as well to set the edge for the run. Possibly that. Vilma was awful as a color commentator. Deebo with 1,006 yards, first 1,000-yard season since 2014. Harris has been playing good at running back as well. I think he's talking about in New England. JLE, Hasty back, ? I think so. I wouldn't be shocked if Hasty isn't ready to go this week.
True.
There's an injury to the running back room. All of a sudden,
Apparently there's a hottie in the hat on set.
It happened again.
I don't know about this.
Did I miss something?
No, I'm just saying there's a hottie. There's apparently, love the beard on the hat, hottie in the hat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Frank, aloha TCC, just allowing the rush of the thrill of victory to ebb. The 49ers fed off of each other, regardless of injuries. They were not to be denied, no matter how much special teams tried. That's funny.
Let's talk about special teams.
Their returner though. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Nguanu
or something like that.
Nguanu. Yeah. He is fantastic. This is not new. He's been busting these types of runs all season.
He's played like 3 games.
Yes, but in the 3 games, he had a return a couple weeks ago
against Baltimore.
Yes,
100%.
So he's a special kind of talent. Why were we kicking the football to him?
That's my question.
Why?
Why aren't we kicking it out of the end zone?
We should have been just kicking it out of the end zone. I don't want that guy touching the football.
And then why does Robbie Gould have to come in to kick it out of the end zone?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Sometimes the way that they handle special teams, and this is a direct reflection on Hightower, why are you not kicking it out? Especially when you go up 2 scores like that. Kick it out of the end zone. Make them play from the 25. Make them drive 75 yards. I mean, what were you going to save? 3-4 yards? Come on now. It's ridiculous. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
No, not at all. Niners just opened Ford's practice window. Okay, so the practice window was just opened. He's not active.
I was blushing. It's 100% right.
Google, yeah.
I was feeling merry and jolly. It is
the holiday season.
It's the holiday season. It's more about candy canes and jingle bells than about the comment.
Google, I agree with you. That special team CD was sick. I almost threw up. I know I did. I know I threw up.
Yeah, that gave me really bad feelings because I really thought the Niners had the game in complete control until that happened. Then I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
And then we're gonna keep this game close just because of that nonsense. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Brad here. Kyle said Trey's X-ray did not look good. So maybe more than just a break. You might have break and some ligament damage
for Trey Sermon.
Yeah,
well, that's too bad. That's unfortunate. You don't want to see someone, especially he could have been continuing to get reps in practice and playing and getting better. And now he's going to be on the IR for the finish for the season, so that's not good.
Unfortunate, truly unfortunate.
And what do they do in the running back? I mean, hopefully JaMychal Hasty's back.
JLE had asked that a little bit earlier. As of right now, we haven't heard anything, but they didn't stick him on IR. So
they couldn't. He would have been done.
That's true. He would have been done for the year. So
hopefully he's back.
Hopefully,
but I still think it's Elijah Mitchell, and it's
yeah. No, I agree with you. 100% agree with you. After this game, our run offense will move from 4th to 2nd in the league. Yeah, I think so. I think that's accurate. And look, that's where this team is. That's kind of where we thought this team could be, was a top 5 running team. The real question now is just health, right? Where's Deebo going to be? Is he going to be okay? How much longer are you going to be without Mohamed Sanu? Jawan Jennings is definitely stepping up, which is nice. He needs to, right? He definitely needs to. And maybe the signing, right? The signing of Devin Funchess was the kicker in the rear to get Jawan Jennings going. That's a good thing for him. It's a good thing for this team.
Well, I think the whole Devin Funchess thing is still interesting because Travis Benjamin's not playing in these football games. They're not using him. They're not using his skill set. And I think it's the bully ball mentality that they've established in the last 3 or 4 games. So Devin Funchess fits that a little bit better. So why wouldn't you rather have Funchess be that extra receiver in case you have somebody go down instead of a Travis Benjamin who they're not really using to take the top off, and he doesn't block as well. So
agreed.
To me, it makes sense, but you're right. It probably got Jawan Jennings' attention like, wait a second, this guy's bigger, He's probably stronger, and he does the same things I do. I better kick it into gear.
Agreed. Shooter, what is up, my guy? Mashuk, is Fred Warner okay? As of right now, all we know, Mashuk, is that he's dealing with what looks to be a hamstring injury. They're saying it seems minor, or no, never mind. That was Deebo. Deebo was a minor groin, is what they're believing. There's been no update yet on Fred, so they're just waiting on MRI results. So I imagine you need to know more Monday, Tuesday. So deep rest for now. The good news is he had his helmet on and it was on the sideline. I think he felt that if he needed to go in, he was going to go in.
I think that they were going to be overly cautious with everyone because I think they really thought they could win the game once they were up. But it got a little scary there for a minute.
Definitely,
it really did. I mean, you look at that linebacker core. And you didn't even have Marcel Harris available. You only had 2 linebackers available. And that was nervous. That was nerve-wracking a little bit.
Definitely a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so Jay Elliott, I just want to get through these. There's a lot of good ones here, Ant. Dang, there goes the Trey Sermon to the Jags for Laviska Shenault trade. Yes, unfortunate. That's just sad.
Sorry. I mean, that is sad.
It is.
I definitely want Visca.
100% want Visca, too. Brad, who had the green dot on their helmet when Warner went off? I'm assuming it's Aziz.
Yeah, I mean, it probably was Aziz. Yeah, I would guess.
I would imagine.
I don't know for sure, but that would be my guess. It looked like he was playing Mike. I heard during the game Cousins was, 51's Mike, so that'd be my guess.
I agree there. Okay, and then Ralph here, another great question. What do you think of next week's game against the Seahawks in Seattle? The Seahawks always play us tough.
It's not going to be easy.
No.
I mean, it just never is. This is one of those rivalry games where anything can happen, and it's probably going to end up being close. What you're hoping is that the 49ers can go in there with the mentality they've had. They should be able to be very physical with the Seattle Seahawks, and they can win a physical style game against the Seattle Seahawks. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. So if you can play bully ball now, a lot of it hinges on Deebo because Deebo unlocks this offense, and if Deebo Samuel's not playing, it's going to change the way the 49ers approach this game plan. So I'm really hoping Deebo's able to play against the Seahawks. I think if Deebo's playing against the Seahawks and Fred Warner's playing against the Seahawks, the 49ers will win the football game. I think if they're missing both of them, it gets really more difficult. And I'm a lot more concerned about the possibility of them going there and struggling. The other good thing we got going for us is Seattle's not that good right now. So the 12 probably won't be as loud as normal.
True. Very, very accurate, Ant. And then back-to-back comments here from James and from Luke about Juwan Jennings. James loves Jennings' attitude and physical play. And Luke here talking about how Jennings had an awesome catch. Even though it was out of bounds, he almost got himself 2 tutties. He did. He was very, nice. Very close. You and I talked about this pre-show. There was about the only negative thing from Juwan Jennings was just a little bit better body control, my guy. Get that shucking foot down and get that touchdown.
Or at least one knee.
Because, it was a great throw. That was a wonderful throw from Jimmy. But that back shoulder let Juwan's twist in the air and go make a play, and he did. Teams have been doing this. We've seen this on film a lot. Teams don't respect Juwan Jennings and have been essentially letting him do things downfield in the red zone and not covering him necessarily with their best guys. There have been opportunities to attack. The 49ers saw it and took advantage, went after it this week, and Juwan Jennings rewarded them a couple of times. It would have been better if he would have rewarded them with that big touchdown catch instead of having to settle for the 3 there, because it would have made that lead almost insurmountable at that point of the game. But you take what you can take from Juwan Jennings out there as wide receiver 3 right now.
I mean, the thing is he got open, right? He got
all you can do.
And he was in the right place to make the play. Did he get the play fully done? No, but I think he's been showing improvement. He also had a nice catch in the first half where he had strong hands going over the middle, went and got the ball, and then didn't go down easy and didn't allow the ball to get knocked away either. So that was a big game from Juwan Jennings.
Absolutely. Do you think Bosa could be a potential defensive player of the year and comeback player of the year candidate?
I think comeback player of the year makes a lot of sense. I think defensive player of the year, it's going to be a little bit harder. It depends on what he does over the next 6 games as far as his sack numbers. But if he can get those numbers up, then yeah, 100%.
And I'm right. You say that, but he's got 11 sacks on the season.
100%.
That's when we say that.
The numbers aren't great. It's just for a defensive lineman to get a defensive player of the year, you have to go do crazy things.
1,000% there. And Shooter with the 1999 super
Thanks,
chat.
Shooter. Appreciate it.
Shooter. The defense stepped up in a big way today. They stepped up when they needed to. And they got big stops when they needed to early and late in this football game. The goal line stand at the end was absolutely phenomenal. It was fantastic. The big turnover, the interception at the start of the second half was great to get the balloon that lead up. And Josh Norman again with another forced fumble, Ant. All he does is force fumbles, no matter what.
There are guarantees in life. Death, taxes, a defensive pass interference, and a forced fumble from Josh Norman.
That's accurate.
That is what we all know is going to happen.
True. It's true. Jennings is emerging. If he can get some action from Jimmy, that TD is proof. It's a game of inches. It truly is a game of inches. Always has been.
100%.
Always will be.
I'm a firm believer in game of inches. I'm a pound the rock. Convert on third down. There was a part of me, Alex, maybe like a 10% part of me that was disappointed Kyle Shanahan didn't go for it on that fourth down instead of kicking the field goal. Because the first down would have just iced it and been done.
True. It's true.
I mean, you know what I would have done.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have went for it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a smart play to kick the field goal, 100%, go up 2 scores. I get it. I like to live dangerously.
It's why I got in the car. I got in the car and started heading over here to record because we're going to kick a field goal. It's like, oh, it's Robbie Gould. Okay. I literally told myself Gould is kicking a field goal here and hopped in the car.
The big winner was today then. Jason Aponte.
It's true.
This rivalry's been going back and forth. Aponte was having to kind of eat it for a couple weeks, and now he's back into it. So I'm interested to see his comments this week.
I mean, there's nothing to just keep it shut, Aponte. There's no reason. There's no talking that needs to be done. I just got to win.
I don't know.
If you want to
talk about Gold in this one, he hit an upright and then
but they went in.
Yeah, but the second one didn't.
That's true.
Aponte has reason to talk, and I'm very interested in what he has to say this week.
We'll see. We'll see what Jason has to talk. What Jason wants to talk about with the Mr. Gold Man.
Yeah.
With the Mr. Gold Man. But look, this is a huge game for the 49ers. Hey, Ant, you remember a few weeks ago when the Niners lost to Arizona and it was embarrassing and this team was awful and matter of fact, Josh Norman and Dre Kirkpatrick are just swearing all over the place from certain talking people on 49ers Twitter. I remember thinking then, I was like, man, everyone wants there to be an answer right now. The fan base, a section of it wants there to be an answer right now. And we kept preaching here, and
I wanted an answer.
I mean, I want an answer, but it's too early, right? We kept saying it's too early. Cutback crew has been like, hey, it's too early. We got, the positivity on this channel has been electric. It's been high,
yeah.
And I love every second of it. That's why we love this community so much, and it's why we started doing this, because we're like number one, we don't have a lot of the same takes and thought processes as other talking heads with the 49ers. But number two, there's got to be more 49ers fans who are in the same train of thought or similar trains of thought as us in terms of, when things are going bad, yeah, it may be bad, but, there might be some reasons for it, and maybe we can turn this thing around. And anyone who's been on this bandwagon here and been holding tight here and holding that line of, it's just too early, this team can still figure it out, you've been rewarded now. You've 100% been rewarded. I do.
You.
I know. Yeah. I do as a fan. This team's 6-5. You're rolling. You're in complete control of your own destiny. You seem to have recaptured the magic that made this team special in 2019 in terms of just your execution and your dominant run game. Playing mistake-free for the most part football over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So let's just keep this going. And this team is going to be going in the right spot for sure.
We have some great comments, Alex.
Oh, wonderful.
Number one, Bosa needs 6 to 7 more sacks. You're probably right. Missed tackle from Brad. He wants to add to that list. That's 100% true.
It's also accurate.
And then Google account says 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and Ant's beard being on fleek.
I like it.
Yeah.
This guy.
Eric, somebody needs to get at me with some sort of a razor sponsorship or something.
I know.
And then BV50 says, what do you guys think of Robbie's aim? I think he didn't start that one far enough inside. I think his ball was tailing off a little bit on this one, but I'm not a professional kicker and he is, so.
True. Here's what on the upright one, I know he was talking to Wisnowski about something with the hold. So when it hit the upright, I know he did a little lean, and then he did a little pump, and then he immediately turned to Wisnowski and said something. So there's something with the hold that he didn't like. I don't know if it was just placement angle. So maybe they overcorrected and then Gold overcorrected. And
so what you're saying is we should put in Kyle Juszczyk as the permanent hold.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Wisnowski.
That's not what I'm saying. No.
I don't know. He was pretty good at it.
He did do it pretty
Juice does everything.
He does do everything.
He also calls protections. He cans plays. Today, Kyle Juszczyk first. Can. Jimmy Garoppolo can. Kyle Juszczyk just does it all.
He does do it.
And then David Campbell said that he did, in fact, Jason Aponte did comment on Robbie Gould and said he held out, wanted a trade, and got overpaid. I like that he's coming after him because he's been taking the heat, so he's gonna go serve it back into the kitchen. That's gonna be a fun serve and volley matchup probably all season.
Aponte, it's all good, man. We can trade Robbie Gould next year and save most of the money. So, good.
Does anyone want a older kicker that's losing his distance,
but it's still fairly accurate?
I don't know. He better continue to be accurate.
True. If he continues to be accurate, then he's got some trade value. Maybe we can get a 7th round pick.
Let's just hope he doesn't get the Akers yips.
Oh, dude, you remember that?
100%.
Remember how just money, absolute money he was, and still had the leg to boot it as well. He was still kicking 60-yard
from
field
one
goals.
Season to the next. 2011, fantastic kicker. 2012, you don't know what happened.
What is going on?
It was like he was a right-footed kicker that decided to kick left that day.
It was awful.
Yeah,
dude. Awful. Kittle just showed up to a press conference with a Eli Mitchell shirt on.
I like that.
I love George Kittle, dude.
T.O. says Grant Cohn for kicker.
No.
Well, I don't know. He misses a lot. KNDR Collectible said, I heard Robbie Gould splashes to the right when he pees.
Oh, come on, Caleb. Talk about a man's bathroom habits. You don't do that.
Hey, Caleb's another year older. He's feeling spicy.
It's true. Special teams, extra practice this week for sure.
Yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan just gives them an entire day. You know, the normal Tuesday day off? That's special teams day this time.
Yeah, Coach get him out there. Coach, get him.
Yeah,
get him
I'm really interested to hear Richie Hightower's interview this week.
Absolutely.
That'll be must watch, actually. I sometimes graze through it, but I'm actually going to really pay attention this time.
Hightower, all the details. We need all the deets.
Yeah.
All of them. 49ers control their destiny, a ticket to the dance, and then a Super Bowl victory, one game at a time. Seahawks are next. Agreed, Frank. Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about the season. They're over 500. They're in a prime position, sitting there a game out of behind the Rams, and they still play the Rams on the schedule.
Yep.
And whenever you control your destiny and you've already beat that team, you're in a prime position. They gotta beat the Seahawks. They gotta win games inside the NFC West, which means beat the Seahawks and beat the Rams. And if they do that, they're gonna put themselves in prime position to go ahead and make the playoffs. And then who knows what happens? Because I think they can have a good matchup against the Packers. They've already proven they can.
And division opponent games matter for tiebreakers.
Yes, it does.
100%. It does. So yeah. you need to win your games in in your own division. You need to take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Tampa Bay is playing good. But
not great.
No, not great. The Packers are playing good.
But not great.
Not great. So, I mean, there's an opportunity there. The Cowboys definitely aren't playing great.
Oh, hey, the Cowboys defense looks like exactly like the defense I thought they were going to be all season. It seems like it just took about half the year for them to realize our defense isn't very good.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to see them in a first-round matchup against the 49ers. So if the 49ers could catch the Rams and we could have a 4-5 matchup.
Glorious.
Oh, wonderful.
Give me all that.
Yeah.
Give me all that.
We'll go to Arlington and take care of them.
Agreed.
Is it really Arlington or is it Austin? I don't know. Or
Jerry's World. We'll just
Jerry's
call it
World
that.
somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, somewhere in Texas. To me, it seemed like the Niners were more dominant than what the score showed. Shooter, I would agree with you. It felt like they were in more control of the game.
Did it?
It did. I think they just mistakes at the wrong times for the 49ers.
I feel like early in this game, it felt Minnesota had control of this football game.
Early, yes. I agree with you on that. Yes.
I think until the first drive of the second half where the 49ers went down and scored and put themselves up 21-14, it felt like Minnesota was in control of this football game. They were the ones that were pushing tempo. They were the ones that were making the plays. And the 49ers were struggling to get things going. I thought after that, and then the Alshire interception, it was like, okay, now 49ers are in control, and I felt comfortable with it.
I felt the Minnesota controlled the game for the most part up until the last drive of the first half. That drive at the end of the first half, because they put the graphic up that showed Minnesota's given up the most points in the league in the last 2 minutes of the first half of any team in the league.
Yeah, it's like, 59 or something like that.
It's a lot of ridiculous. It's a lot of points. So, if you're the Niners, you need to go into the half with a drive to solidify, especially knowing you get the ball coming out. And if you're Minnesota, you're trying to rewrite the narrative, right? You don't want to. We're not the team that falls apart in the second half. That's not who we are. We're not that team anymore. Well, one way to help you do that is to not give a team momentum going into halftime, and they couldn't do that. So as soon as the Niners executed that drive, 8 minutes and put it in and scored, punched it in and scored, and then didn't give up a field goal on top of that after the big kick return, I sat down, took a deep breath, and was like, okay, I feel like we now have control of this football game. It's all going to be about how we come out and start the second half, but we have the momentum now.
Well, and that's why I don't feel they had the momentum until the third quarter.
Fair.
Because of the kick return.
Fair.
And then the chance to get a field goal.
Fair.
Minnesota regained all the momentum in that situation. So that drive in the first drive of the second half, and then Azeez Al-Shaair with a huge interception.
Can't be understated.
I mean, it's a bad throw, but it's a wonderful catch because he jumps up and, I mean, snags it out of the sky.
I don't know. Well, that's what I mean. Kirk and Jimmy both threw a pick that they had no business throwing the football.
No. I mean, and I don't know what Kirk saw. I mean, just like, I know at least Jimmy had a guy in his face.
Jimmy had a guy in his face.
Jimmy shouldn't throw that football.
Jimmy had a guy in his face and never relocated Harrison Smith after seeing him sell that cover 2 look at the start of the play. So I understand there was a disguise. Jimmy gets fooled by the disguise. He got a guy in his face. He can't locate the guy he needs to locate. Fine. Kirk Cousins, I just don't know. I don't know what he saw there. I didn't like it. Yeah, for Minnesota, it was bad. Scary Monkey with the skull. I'm glad to see that he's still sculling it up for his team.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the Vikings, they're not out of it. Sure.
Not by any means, especially with the teams at the top that faltered today.
Well, and they've beat the Packers, and they've proven it for their physical football team. My worry is Dalvin Cook for them, because their run game changes so much without Dalvin Cook.
What did you think injury-wise? What did you think he had when the play happened?
To me, when I saw it, I thought it was something either pec or bicep. Okay. The way that he grabbed it, you seen him kind of go like this, and that's why he released the ball. It looked like he was grabbing in this area, and we know the pec and bicep, if it tears, it'll roll up. So it could have been something in that nature. I'm not 100%, but it made me, for everyone that doesn't know, I know Jay Ellie will know this, it really made me upset because Dalvin Cook has been one of my favorite players since he was at Florida State.
I thought it was his knee, dude.
Oh.
I thought it was his knee at first because his leg got cut up underneath. Yeah. You saw the movement, and then when his foot releases from the ground, it snaps up. I was like, boy, it could have been. I thought it was knee. When people started reporting pec and shoulder, I was like, yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah, as soon as we saw it, we thought, oh, that's what it is. It's pec or bicep, something in that area. Just because when he dropped the ball, they were showing it, and he reached for it. If he wouldn't have done the initial reach, because the initial reach is where it's going to happen, right? The knee, the ankle, yeah.
Typically. Yep. So, all right, then we have a couple different comments here. Apparently, Kittle responded to Zimmer's holding comment. If you're going to stand around and complain about holding all the time, tell your guys to make better plays.
Yeah, right. I think so.
All right, well, good on you.
Here's an idea. Zimmer make better decisions on defense and don't give up, 34 points, which easily could have been over 40.
If you don't want the Niners to rush for 200-plus yards, also maybe try sticking a fifth guy in the box. Also that.
Oh, you mean on the line?
On the line,
no, they did that in the last drive.
They did on the last drive.
They had like 6 guys, and they still couldn't stop it.
It's true. It's true. Cousins lined up behind who in the fourth, lost his mind? He did. He lined up behind a guard.
Oh, yeah. Is that when they called the timeout?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely feeling the pressure at that moment.
True. True. Frank, in my honest opinion, it seems what is happening is that the 49ers players and coaches are really starting to believe in each other, and it's palpable even to the other team.
Agreed.
There
is a definite synergy, with the team. I think
connection.
Yeah, I feel it. I think that you can see it. Look at the way Deebo's interacting with Elijah Mitchell on the sideline, or the things that the way that the team is acting. Even when they're hurt, the players are up there engaged in what is going on. They were never wavered either. Like, that's the thing, right, Alex? Because they got down, and when they got down 14-7 and they had the opportunity, they could have been up easily in this football game.
True.
They could have buckled under pressure. Jimmy struggling and all that, but they didn't. They just all buckled down together and got it going. Jimmy made a absolute wicked throw to Brandon Ayuk, drove the ball down the field. It gets kind of tipped, but still gets there, and then Ayuk breaks down the sideline. I thought that was a pivotal play because as soon as that happened,
how about that big?
Here comes the run game again.
How about that big completion to Jawan Jennings on third down, where he puts it up high between 2 guys. Did the same thing to Trent Sherfield as well, throwing in some tight windows today and just getting the ball out quick.
The Sherfield catch was great.
It was. He put it up. I mean, that's not, as a receiver, that's not something you want. You don't want to run a
literally through there.
Yeah. No, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Okay. Actually, I saw Delvin's ankle bend awkward as well. I mean, it was potentially a lot of things there. Brad Jones, Deebo on his groin. He felt it tighten up and immediately wanted to come off to ensure it didn't get worse.
Okay, love it. I absolutely love it. Well done, Deebo Samuel.
It's smart, my guy.
Well done, Deebo Samuel.
Being smart. That's why he immediately goes down.
Also, something with his right hand. Did you notice him taking the glove off all the time, messing with the right?
Messing with it, yeah.
I think the index finger on the right hand as well. Could just be a blister or whatever, but just you don't usually see Deebo without gloves on. So
no, you don't. You guys see Lincoln Riley to USC, and now Oklahoma wants Kingsbury to replace him. I did see that.
Yeah, I kind of understand it. I'm sure they're going to throw a lot of money at Kingsbury's way. I don't care what he does. Kingsbury is not the most scary guy in the world, but do you think Kingsbury would leave for Oklahoma?
I think it'd be crazy. With what you've put together so far, what you've done.
But then again, I didn't think Lincoln Riley would leave Oklahoma for Florida State. I mean, for
USC. I didn't think that either.
All right, now our guy Ralik's probably gonna end up at USC, so I'll be happy about that.
Ralik's gonna probably end up at USC. There's a handful of guys who are gonna end up at USC now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Handful.
Guys who are decommitting at USC are gonna go back.
Correct.
So yeah, that's crazy, and the fact that Kingsbury could leave impacts the NFC West, so it's actually relevant for us to talk about, which is shocking to me. But okay,
it could. I mean, it's semi.
I wonder how Evan feels about that. Might have to send him some more crumble cookies.
That'll be a great conversation on Quest for the West this week. That
crumble
is for
cookies
sure.
To ensure that Kingsbury leaves.
Hey, Coach Timo, Kingsbury isn't leaving the NFL. Listen, I want to say yes. I think right at this point in time, it's crazy, but money will definitely play a factor in it. Number one, and number two, people are still not sold on Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach. I know that they've done a lot of good stuff right now,
right?
But they have a lot of talent.
I don't think he'll leave. I think Coach Tim is right. I don't think they want to leave. My only thing is how ridiculous will Oklahoma boosters get? With the money. Well, are they going to give him $15 million? $18 million. What are they going to give him? That's ridiculous. Because at some point, right, you look around and you're like, it's really hard to win in the NFL. I mean, I can go to the Big 12 and then eventually the SEC, and I can make this kind of scratch, and I get to recruit whatever players I want. I mean, that's kind of tempting. So it all depends on scratch. I don't think he really wants to leave, but sometimes money talks.
Sometimes it does. Time will tell.
I'll be honest. If I was coaching in the NFL and somebody offered me that kind of money, yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma. I'm gone.
Right. Fair.
I'm gone.
Fair.
Like, oh yeah, you mean I can change I can make $5 or $6 million in the NFL, or I can make 12 to 15 million in college, and I get to go recruit my own players. Later. Hello.
True.
And then there's going to be some crazy buyout that's like 20-something million. Yeah.
Okay. I see where you're going.
All day, every day. Money.
I see where you're going with that.
You're a coach that's been moving around your whole life. You got fired from Texas Tech. Take the money and run. Just do it.
CBS reporting Cook is apparently going to have shoulder surgery. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly it is.
Too bad for Dalvin Cook.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate for the Minnesota Vikings. And unfortunate for all the great fans of the Minnesota Vikings that have been in our comment section and chat, because they've all been great people. They've had very good takes on their football team. I've been very proud. I had a very interesting week, but I went on there and checked out as much as I could this morning and really saw some great takes and stuff, and very appreciative of a fan base that understands their team and understands football. That was fun.
And is willing to come to a channel that isn't about your organization, but is trying to, dissect and look at your team, and just the willingness to engage and wanting to have a conversation about your football team, point out things that maybe we missed, or maybe things that I didn't recognize or realize about your players. It's extremely appreciative, and it's extremely great, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to branch out and reach out and talk football. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we love doing. We love the sport. We love our 49ers. And obviously, anytime that we go into a game against another team, we want to make sure that we know everything that we possibly can about your opponent, and understanding what the Niners are going to see. So shout out to all the Vikings fans out there in Vikings land, sculling it up, coming onto the Cutback, the 49ers Cutback crew, and coming onto the channel and just sculling it up over here in the comment section. We appreciate it.
Bro, your hat too tight, making your eyes bulge.
Interesting. All right, Victor.
Is that what his name is?
Victo Pez Candy?
Vic Lopez Candy?
Who knows? Interesting. Kingsbury only has a year left in the contract, so could easily be a negotiating tactic for him. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh, Monica with the Burgos, bro, crying right now. Oh.
Yes.
Big burn.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the 49ers have made a full run through the Burgos crew this year. The Lions down, Eagles down, and then the Vikings down. They do not play the Ravens, so Brian is safe.
Brian for now.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah. Just now. Just now.
But the Burgos is great fans of the program.
Absolutely.
Great friends of the program. So.
Absolutely. Big fans, big friends.
Big supporters.
Lost $200 and to the Niners.
Oh.
Wait, you lost $200? Oh, no, I get it, because each of them paid $100. I get it.
What's he talking about?
He's talking about the Burgos is paying $100 on two separate podcasts.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, I mean, TCC, what a huge week. What a huge week for the 49ers. Just a few weeks ago, it felt like the 49ers were in a position where, things weren't necessarily going that well. Things weren't all great in 49ers land, and 49ers fans weren't happy. Mm-hmm. We were very pissed off. Mm-hmm. And we understood. but we weren't really ready yet to throw the podcast ourselves and the team off the cliff just yet. We were holding out hope that this team was going to figure out a way to correct those errors that they were making, right? Find a way to make those blocks that weren't happening, and find a way to just be the team that we all believed they could be in Pro Gamer like 2. Sup, what's up, my guy? We were just hoping that this team was going to, ham it together and find a way to overcome this tumultuous stretch at the start of the season and just the way things were going, and they did in a big way.
Interesting question. I'm sorry. Angel Johnson wants to know, who do you think is more beautiful, Alicia Keys or Halle Berry? I choose Alicia. She's beautiful.
That's a question. How do you get there?
I'm gonna go on a limb, Angel, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that both of them are beautiful. They both are very beautiful women, and that I think that everyone would agree they're both very beautiful women.
Fair. Do I have to pick?
I don't want to pick.
Attractive, talented.
Yeah.
You don't lose either way.
I mean, one's got a phenomenal voice. One's been Catwoman.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Halle Berry in her Catwoman suit. Part of a song.
I was gonna say Halle Berry's got her own song.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just an interesting question. But I think in this one, I'm gonna say it's a push.
It's a push. I like it. I like it. Jason with the LOL. Wow. BV50. Do you guys see Pete Carroll retiring when Russell retires? And do you think Pete will make it to the Hall of Fame?
He might now. Yeah, I mean he could. The fact that he went to 2 Super Bowls, won one. He's been pretty consistent as a head coach. I would think he has a pretty good resume and has an opportunity to make it to the Hall of Fame for sure.
He does. He definitely has a chance. That is for sure. David, looking forward to tomorrow's recap and the film breakdowns on this game on Patreon. Absolutely. The all 22 film breakdowns are going to be glorious. Big Yikes is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's always
Big
fun.
Yikes is a blast.
Big Yikes is always a blast.
Oh, and no worries, Mr. Vic Lopez. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, you to shit, bro. Just pumped on the win. Win, we might make playoffs.
Oh, we're gonna make playoffs.
Yeah, we're making playoffs.
I'm firmly in that boat now.
I mean, we were basically in that boat already.
Yeah, bulging eyes and all.
Absolutely, bulging eyes and all. Well, look, hey, no, it's hard. Bulging eyes ain't because of the greatness that this team is playing at. Thank God I found you boys. Don't think I can handle the internet after it's the first couple weeks without you guys. Hey, you know what? That's a two-way street, Brad.
Yeah.
Because if we were just not doing a podcast and didn't have you all here, all these the 2,000 plus of you that are subscribed and support this channel, there is a good chance that Ant and I wouldn't have been able to make it through the first week of the season with everything that was going on with this football team. It's hard. It is hard to sit around and listen to people spew nonsense and not provide clarity or context. Just say things without any backing to support it.
I can tell you right now, if I wasn't doing a podcast or involved in this, I would have went to the distant dark that is non-social media. I just would have went away from all of it and just enjoyed football.
Accurate.
It gets crazy out there.
It definitely.
Yeah, it can get wild. There's some interesting takes. I haven't heard any more fire Kyle Shanahan. Have you?
No.
Any trade George Kittle?
No trading. Actually, dude, I did see someone who said, I caught flack for saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it. The Niners need to trade George Kittle. There aren't very many players you can trade and get 2 first-round picks for. George Kittle is just one of those dudes. We just need to get the draft capital back. And I was like, bro, it's such a bad take.
Well, it's a crapshoot, the draft.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's just awful. It's just awful. Monica here. We'll go through a couple questions here to finish this off. Monica says, question, how much gum is in Pete Carroll's stomach?
I think after the 2019 game, I think he swallowed a whole pack.
There's a good chance.
When Dre Greenlaw just destroyed the guy at the goal line. I think that is a good question. I've always wondered what kind he chews. Do you think it's like a bubble yum? Do you think, what kind? Do you think it's like a cotton candy flavor? Is he a Winter Fresh guy?
I would say cotton candy.
Is he a bazooka guy? Big League Chew?
Bazooka bubblegum?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. What do you think?
I'm not sure, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's like those grape, what are those ones called that they come out of the little containers, like the long strips?
Oh, dude. It's like fruit by the foot, but gum.
Oh, yeah.
It's like fruit by the foot, but gum.
Yeah.
I forget what those are called.
I can't either.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Tio, where are the start late Trey Lance crew? Oh, they're there.
Oh, yeah, there was people during the game. I mean, with Jimmy struggling, the Trey Lance group was out there.
As soon as Jimmy threw the pick, 49ers Facebook blew up. 49ers Facebook blew up. I can't handle any more of this Jimmy Garoppolo clown stuff. It's
it was frustrating.
It was a bad pass.
I 100% get. Well, the first half from Jimmy Garoppolo, there was a lot of plays that were very frustrating.
Agreed.
Because even I at times was like, "Come on, Jimmy, come on, man, let's go."
True. It's true.
Ooh, it's juicy fruit from Tommy Christian.
I like that. Juicy fruit, spearmint is what we're seeing. We're seeing some bubble tape from JLE. Thank God. Thank God JLE's here. Thank God. He's a spearmint guy, no question. All right.
Dude, JLE always comes through. I swear he does.
True.
Anytime that we don't know something, he's on it.
He chooses something that doesn't stick to dentures from T.O.
Well done.
I love it, T.O.
What, don't they have one for dentures, like a gum for dentures?
They do. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. You think it could be like a Nicorette?
Basically, yeah. It could be the case.
Yeah.
Could be. Vic, we appreciate that. You guys are great. Go Niners. Seagulls suck.
I love it. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate it.
All down for that. Look, Cutback Crew. Great week.
Yeah.
Incredible game from the 49ers. Big Week 12 win. Currently sitting in the 6th seed. Someone asked earlier, chances for the 49ers to make the playoffs. It was sitting at what, like 47 going into this game?
47%.
So now it jumps up to what, like 60 or 70%?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it took a big jump, though. Yeah, especially with the Rams losing.
It's going to be in the 60%, 70% category now. So the Niners still need to take care of business. Listen, wins at this point, they're always hard to come by at this point of the year. They truly are. We kept saying 9 wins gets you into the playoffs. So the Niners sitting at 6 now. You need about 3 more to guarantee that you're going to be in a playoff spot, whether that's the 7th seed or whatever. So 3 more wins for the 49ers. You put yourself in a really great position. And shout out to the new subscriber there who just subscribed. Welcome to the Cutback Crew.
Hey, thanks, Lou. Always appreciative, by the way.
Always.
I love when Lou comes through. I don't get to converse with him as much as I used to, but I always love Lou's takes.
And T.O., you were right. Madden was right again. Madden gets another game prediction right. I'm really looking forward to this week. We got a lot of great stuff, a lot of great content to do and get caught up on. All 22 film breakdowns on Patreon, big yikes on Patreon. Tons of Madden content coming out this week.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton on there.
Week 4 is all completed and wrapped up in Madden League. Week 5 is essentially done now with the exception of a handful of games that need to be played, which means we're coming into Week 6 now for the Madden League already. Over halfway through almost halfway to catching up with where we're at now in season. So we're getting close to being live action with the NFL season, which is always great. And that started super late in the year. So shout out to everyone in the Madden League for getting their games in. Yeah,
the Madden thing's been going crazy. You guys are going good. I got to watch your all 22 breakdown of the Vikings. So I was prepared for the game today. I got into that last night when I was working. So well done, sir, to hold down the fort and get it done. That was nice. I appreciated it, and it was good. And now we're on full steam ahead for the 49ers. Let's get to the playoffs, and let's see what kind of damage they can do. Hopefully these injuries are nothing serious, and we can go get it done, because a win over the Seahawks with the 49ers in a very, very prime position, not only to make the playoffs, to put some pressure on the Rams for that 5th spot and get a very, very good matchup in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's take care of business. Week 13 is going to be lit. It's going to be exciting. 49ers, Seahawks, the rivalry restored, rivalry renewed with everything on the line for San Francisco and Seattle, depending on what happens Monday night for them. A lot of things at stake for their organization in this season for them. So a game with a lot of expectations. I mean, just everything on the line for both teams. We'll see where this goes. Week 13 is going to get hot. We'll see you on the next one, Cutback Crew. And until then, stay safe.
Remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.